Alright, I'm pissed. I just did a whole review on Broken CRJ's Cluster Single Hop, which I really liked, and just downloaded it and checked it, and the sucker was so blurry I'm not even going to post it. Went and cleansed my palate, got ready for my next one, went back, looked at that video. I'm aggravated, which is why I don't. This is a Canon EOS 60D. The only reason I bought this thing was to film video with, and I usually use my iPhone, but the thing I like about this is the mic picks up a lot better when I'm talking than my iPhone does. So I have a tendency to speak low, and it's hard to hear me when I'm talking. So I was trying to fix that. If somebody can tell me how I can get a microphone, a lapel mic or whatever that I can hook to my iPhone somehow and do movies that way, then that's what I'll do, and I won't worry about this, because this thing has, and it obviously it's operator error, but you know, I like the iPhone because I just set it up there, bam, and go. But excuse me, we got a call coming in. Hey man. Alright. Anyway, like I was saying, the cluster hop, to me it had a little, what I call a Hefeweizen aroma and a little bit of flavor, but I liked it. I think that's the profile of that hop. I've never had it before, so that's what I'm going to say it is, because the beer didn't have any, like, didn't, you know, anything that was off, anything like that. So, I really liked it. So, I'm not going to go through the whole another review. Obviously, I drank the beer, so I don't have it. Like I said, I cleansed my palate. With some water and thyme and a cracker. One cracker about that big. So I'm good to go, because I want to try the Stumpy Joe's, which is Motica. That's the only way I know how to say it. That's another thing I covered in that other video. That's the way Jake said it. Jake seems like an old southern boy, so I'm going to go with that. Dorf said it another way. Dorf's probably right, because Dorf seems to be on the ball about all that kind of stuff. And one thing I made mention of was in their video. You know, after you do, I love their video. I love that we're enjoying ourselves, him and Super D. But, you know, once you get into, as anybody knows, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever IPAs, or that many differences and all that with that high IBUs. I mean, we're talking, what, 60? On most everybody's IBUs, somewhere around 7%. ABVs, 6 to 7%. You know, with the same malt bill and all that stuff. You know, by the time you get into the, you know, even the second one, your profiles, you know, your flavor profile is going to change, you know, because of the high IBUs on that. So, and I'm not saying that, Super D, because you gave me a good. I appreciate that, but everybody just has a different taste, you know. So, I was the same way you were. The first one I drank, I was like, oof, you know, after I sent them all out, and then the more I got into it, the more it aged a little bit, the more I appreciated it. I think Dorf made mention that mine was a little young, or one of the younger ones. So, you know, whether that had something to do with it, maybe it did, because I did bottle them so I could get them out, and then it sat on my kegerator for a while. I drank it out of the keg till it was almost blown. I bottled about 4 or 5 more bottles and stuck them back in the fridge, say, for a friend of mine. I also saved a bottle back out of the ones that I bottled so I can compare those two, and I may do that on the video. So anyway, this is Stumpy's. Try not to move it too much, because I know everybody talks about, or Jake and Dorf and whatnot, we're talking about these being bottle condition. I'm not sure if it is or isn't, but I'm going to just treat it like it is and watch for it come in here and see what happens. I'm going to stop right there just in case. Yep, I think it is. Yep, it is. And this is the New Zealand hop. I've definitely never had this hop. I'm pretty sure I've never had Cluster. I've never used Cluster. Now, whether I've ever had it in a commercial blend or brand, I mean, or not, a beer, I don't know. If I have, or if there, you know, anybody knows of some beers that have that in it that are available commercially, you know, post it in the comments for me. I'd appreciate it. Also, what I asked in another video, if anybody know what could create a Hefeweizen flavor and aroma in a beer other than the cluster profile, because I did it making a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and it tasted just like a Hefeweizen. It was either my water profile, because I forgot to use Camden in my tap water, which has chloramine in it, or it was, I think it was the yeast. That's what I chalked it up to. So, because I reused some yeast from another batch and maybe it wasn't washed properly or at all, and that's what caused it. So very, very clear. Got a lot of condensation on the glass here, but that is a very clear beer. It's got good carbonation coming off there too. It's hard for me to describe. Picking up whatever aroma's there. It's very light. It's almost a light floral, almost, call it that. Which reminds me of one of them fresh laundry air fresheners. Probably a very bad description, but I mean, it's not like overpowering. I mean, I really have to get it in there, but like a clean, clean aroma. And I can see where Super D and them would have come up with a little peach, whatever it was. This was the one. Maybe it's power suggestion. It's very smooth, very smooth. There it comes. I don't know, maybe peach, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll describe it as that. I probably never would have if I hadn't heard it, and probably knowing my luck it was some other beer they were talking about and I'm just using it for this one. Let's give it a sec. Let's have a pick it up. I tell you, it's a very, very clean beer. I mean, it's very crisp, very clean and clear. I mean, this would be like a commercial beer right here to me all day long, which you could maybe get on tap at your local watering hole. The mouthfeel in this is spectacular to me. That's what I pick up on. And I'm like Jake, man. I'm suck at doing beer reviews, so I'm like, tastes like beer. That's good. I just can't put my finger on that. Sorry, Stumpy. Excellent beer, though. I would give Broken CRJs a great, and I would give this one a great, definitely. This one here is, I don't have any input on his as far as what is ABV, IBUs, and all that. I would have to say, to me, either this hop with the IBUs, I know we were supposed to be clicking for about 60 IBUs, but that just doesn't taste like 60. Now, I did have the cluster hop, which was 60. I did have that one, so maybe that, even though I did cleanse my palate, maybe that's affecting it a little bit. A different hop, maybe a little more forward. This one right here is a very smooth. To me, I'm gonna try to find me some of these hops, because this to me would be a good progression, stepping stone, however you want to call it, beer. Someone that's moving from. I mean, even to me, this even has more of a pale ale type IBU to it. I mean, that thing is clear. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I just want to give props to that. I use Irish moss. We're on that. I know Jake was asking about this, but I've got, according to my buddy, I got like a life supply of Irish moss here, but I keep it, sealed up in here, and even if it's in the plastic, when you open it, you can smell it, and then I keep it inside this plastic piece. And I put that scoop, I think that's a teaspoon, in a 5-gallon batch at 15 minutes. But I don't get the clarity like this. I don't. And this thing I'm setting back right here, this is a little ice cream freezer, and my beers go from down here where they're at, down here on the floor, on the CO2 for 30 psi for a week. pull them off, and then as soon as I get one of these out and move it to the kegerator, it goes into this freezer. Once it sets here for sometimes a week or two at currently 36 degrees, it'll normally take it down to 33. Never seen it that high. Better make sure that's okay. But then I put it in the kegerator. I mean, that's cold conditioning. That's the same as cold crashing, and I don't get the clarity that you guys are getting. Now, I don't always use the Irish moss. I don't always remember to put it in, but it seems to me that the Whirlfloc tablets work better than the Irish moss, just from what I'm seeing, because I know somebody responded, I think to Jake's video or something in the comments, and said they used it. I think it was Stumpy said he used the Whirlfloc. So, you know, maybe I need to try that, but I guess I got to finish that lifetime supply of Irish moss, so I got to get to brewing. That's a nice beer. Like I said, good crossover beer, if you want to call it that, from you know, beers with basically BMC style beers. You could step right into this from a BMC style beer, because this is a beer that has flavor. You know, with the 60 in there, the Crystal 60L or Caramel 60, whatever it is, Crystal I think it is. You know, I mean, they could step right into that. I mean, to me, that's not a dark beer, but I mean, it's more of an amber. But I don't like to get much beyond that. I'll go into a Bass type beer, a brown ale. That's about as far as I like to go. I'm not big into porters. I'm not into stouts. Not at this point in my beer drinking and brewing career. I have some that are very, very good. I really enjoy them. I don't know if it's a psychological thing. I can't get over the darkness of it or whatever, but when I drink beer, I like to drink beer. You know, I like to drink, not necessarily a whole lot of beer, but I like to drink more than 3 or 4 beers sometimes. And if I'm drinking a heavy stout or porter or something like that, and especially if I'm having it with a meal, I can't, you know, I eat a meal and have a Guinness style beer or whatever, and I'm just like I've had 2 meals, you know. Good one, Stumpy. So, Broken CRJ, I'm sorry. I thought I did a good job on your video, and it is just like somebody just laid cellophane with Neosporin and smeared all over it in front of the lens. That's basically what it looks like, and it's pissed me off. So I spent that time doing that. I really put a lot of thought into it. Love the cluster hop. I love that beer. Didn't taste anything negative, any off flavors. Like I said, the way I can describe that cluster hop to me, other people call it, I think Super D used feet. Jake said some people don't like that or whatever, and to me it has a Hefeweizen type of aroma. This particular beer here did. And flavor, just a hint, more of aroma than the flavor. The flavor was real smooth. So just wanted to throw that out there. I'm so sorry that that didn't come out right, because I know we all put a lot of time and effort into this, and I wish I could post that one, but trust me, it ain't worth posting. So if you have any questions, comments, or whatever, or if you know what causes that Hefeweizen when you're trying to make not a Hefeweizen, please let me know. I've posted on Homebrew Talk. Nobody seemed to be able to tell me. And so that's it. Peace.